When I saw this beautiful but overpriced wreath at Hobby Lobby, I immediately recognized a great opportunity to recreate this wreath or something similar for a much better price with my own materials. So today I'm going to show you what I picked up at Hobby Lobby and how I used all these different elements to create something that is inspired by this wreath and that ends up being something I actually like even better than the original. I'm gonna show you each element I used and the sale price and the ID number, so you can pick up any of these pieces if you're interested. The wreath that inspired this was built on a grapevine wreath, but I already had a wreath foundation that's just something I made from beech branches a few years ago. So I'm going to use that, and we're going to start with this white leafy pumpkin pick. This is going to be that central feature, and we're actually going to modify this immediately by tearing out the plastic stem and replacing it with one of the dried pumpkin stems from my little craft stash. Oh, I knocked the camera. Yep, we're just going to rip that cheap stem out, and we're going to use one of these fabulous dried pumpkin stems to make this look even more realistic and level it right up. If this is something that you want to do for crafts next year, now is the time to think about it. You can just set those stems aside to air dry and they'll be ready for you to use next year to craft with. The first element after the pumpkin is going to be these orange berry cluster picks. They look a bit deeper orange in real life than they do here on camera. They're quite pretty. Usually I don't go for these sort of berry elements because I don't like to have the little foam balls falling everywhere, but I did shake them kind of vigorously in the store and they seemed okay, so we're gonna give them a try. What I want to do with this wreath is not aim to create exact symmetry because that can feel very artificial, but I do want to create this sense of balance, each side being balanced. Now the next element is going to be these fabulous fern picks. They are like a coppery bronzy color. They're called copper leaves, but they're definitely ferns. They fit better on the left side, and I have to sort of manipulate them to be fuller on the right side. But the nice thing about anything that's kind of bendy is that you can basically maneuver them however you want. So I ended up putting one set of the coppery leaves in front of the berry picks and one behind. And what I love about these is that they're so shiny that they pull the eye backward through the berry picks, and they give that sort of light reflection in the front and texture. We're already getting good layering here. We've only used 2 elements. The next thing I went for were these brilliantly named sunflower picks. They are an iridescent velvety green. They just caught my eye and I thought they were so pretty. And I absolutely love that the green element in this wreath is coming from the flowers, whereas the foliage is brown and copper and bronzy colored. Up next are these orange pumpkin picks. I used quite a few of these last year in decorating, so I picked 3 of them up this year. I only end up using 2 in this wreath, but I'm sure I can use some more in my decorating as I'm going to be doing multiple autumn trees, and these were very high quality little pumpkin picks. The stems on these were better, which is good because I don't have any more of the little itty bitty ones. Next we're going to put in the white pumpkin, and I like the way that this, in the original wreath, the pumpkin, the larger one, the central feature, was sitting right on the sort of belly of the wreath as though it being held up, which would make sense if you had a larger pumpkin that was heavier. So we're going to put that one right in the middle, and I'm going to use the same elements on both sides, but again, I'm not going to try to make them exactly symmetrical. I used my little brown crafting zip ties to hold these in place. I'll link some below. I get them on Amazon. They are fantastic for decorating. They blend right in, and you only need a couple of them. Okay, this is shaping up pretty nicely. Once I got the pumpkins and the sunflowers in place, I decided to come in with an extra fern pick and just sort of add it at the bottom in the center there. looking at this wreath straight on, I'm very happy with the way it seems to have a very balanced visual weight on both sides, meaning it feels even though it's not symmetrical. I think it turned out really nicely, and I did in fact manage to do it for less than the sale price, and I actually like my version even better. I'm sorry guys, my voice sounds totally different now because I had a coughing fit, but we're gonna plow ahead. I really felt that this still needed a bow on it, so I dug around in my stash and I found these rolls of orange ribbon that I bought last year at the end of the season. I think they were on clearance for basically nothing. And even though they're simple, I think that the color is perfect to pull out those deeper hues of orange in the pumpkins and in the berry picks. I think it's the perfect final touch, and I am just delighted with how this turned out. Stick around to see how I work this into the rest of my autumn decorating. There's going to be a lot coming. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a like if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.